if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bovine excrement over there.
But I'm not into
with
propaganda.
Grass growing in a junkyard.
I'm into just the simple things that you can reach out to people and make them understand that everybody can do something, even on the lowest possible level. They can have an impact, and that's really what it's all about.
And seeing as how we're surrounded by water, you know what I mean?
I'm going to do something on my level that I can impact, and I'm going to take our last break. How's that?
That's great.
So,
break that station.
Ray Guarino, Joe D, Jimmy Ruocco, Freeport Auto Wrecking, and Operation Splash. We're going to take our last break. Come back and see us in a few. Hang on.
Hey, you in the car? Yeah, You're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation. Come on, I know you're looking for some feel-good music, so just keep your radio right here for the Sly Stone Show. And you might want to think about cleaning up your car before we start. This thing is nasty. Oh, back to what's important. It's the Sly Stone Show every Friday afternoon at 3 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Okay, listen up, class. Beginning in 2017, we will be meeting at a new time, so don't forget.
Forget what?
That the Unforgettables will now be on the air from 9 to 11 p.m. Saturday nights.
Forget about it.
So then you won't forget?
Forget what?
That the Unforgettables will now be on from 9 to 11 p.m. Saturday nights.
Excuse me? I forgot what the class is about.
The Unforgettables, as always, has been about celebrating the great American popular songbook, the vocalists, musicians, and songwriters. We not only play their music, but oftentimes a legendary name or newcomer to the scene will join us for an interview. So don't forget to tune into the Unforgettables every Saturday night at 9 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Whoa, hey man, I think I'm in the wrong classroom.
I don't know what classroom you're in, but we're in the classroom of life here.
I got no class.
Right, and we're back with a caller on Motormouth Radio.
Sure.
So, you're on with the Motormouths. Hi.
Hey, guys, it's Jim.
What's up, Jim?
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you.
I will have to say this. The Ray and Joe both know that I have a big interest in politics, and as soon as I heard the word environmentalist, the hairs on my arms started to stand up a little bit.
Yeah.
But after listening to you, I mean, it really sounds like you got the right information, and definitely Long Island. I mean, the whole South Shore. That's like part of ours. And we do need to do something to try and save it, try and preserve it. So I really appreciate all the work you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know about that politically incorrect stuff.
Yeah,
too.
we were having our political conversation on our break. I figured I wasn't
sure. No, I'm not there to hear it. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have heard the breaks. It was.
It tends to get in the way when you're talking about the environment. Definitely.
Yeah, see, I want to party with you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. Speaking about party with Jim, you may be able to because Jim, your new venture is going to be
junkyardparties.com coming soon. Yep.
I'm definitely there for that one. Hey, Jimmy, I got one question which is totally off topic from anything we've talked
about.
So
That's okay. That's a habit of mine too.
I know your junkyard from all the times I went across the street to Freeport Speedway.
Okay.
And I went there. I was there every Saturday night for the last 4 years that track was open. My question is do you have anything left from there?
Well, when you walk in my gate, the first thing you see on the right-hand side is a bunch of wheel racks. Those wheel racks are sitting on the top of the stadium bleachers that came came out of there. Yeah. We have one of the turnstiles by us.
Right.
We also have Marty Himes, like once a week.
Yeah.
So everybody knows Marty Himes.
And in the main room where you would go to purchase your parts, isn't the aluminum railing around the top?
Well, after Sandy, it all came down, but we have all that nostalgia. And Marty Himes got us back to like 1938. He says, Jim, that doesn't mean that's the first year that you were here. That just means the only thing that I have in paperwork. But matter of fact, he just stopped in yesterday. He cuts the lawn at the Historical Society, and on his way home, he stops by.
Oh, cool!
And he keeps giving me stuff. He says, "Marty, I got that one already. Okay, make him happy."
Yeah,
but yes, I do have some stuff from the stadium, and it's packed away, but it is going to go down into our lobby when I put that back together. And there are components of the stadium like all over the place. We actually, that's how I met Marty Hines. We were tearing down the bleachers. It was bought by a local contractor, and I asked him if we can have a steel. And back then, steel in the junkyard, I was cutting up beds on the side of the road, looking at it. Hey, a full-size bed. Let me see, that's 12 and a half feet of angle iron. That's terrific. We can make something with that. I really wanted to get one of the light towers and re-erect it as a landmark.
Right.
Oh, that would have been cool.
But they were moving too quick. But I do have a couple of lights. I have the old speakers that were on the towers.
Nice.
Stuff buried all over the place. But we have a little landmark on Mill Road, and I had offered Marty, I says, I'll take a section of my front there, and maybe we can glass something in. My cousin's a glazier, and he owes me a glass house.
Okay.
And we can put a lot of your stuff out there, and then just landmark it across the street, because that was really the entrance, the back of the concrete bleachers there.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of history. We didn't do a lot of car talk here today, but we're really open to having the car enthusiasts. Anybody wants to have a fairly large party or whatever, come down and see us before we get booked. We're getting really, really great responses on the junkyard.
I definitely want to come down and see some of the Freeport stuff. Just, that's part of my childhood, and I still miss that place.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Marty was, as we were finishing our front, Marty was planning on lending us one of his little midgets that we can put in the front lobby there, too.
Is that Hervé? Was that Hervé, or was it?
The plane.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I don't remember what the guy's name was.
I don't know if the midget's coming with the midget or just the midget. But
good.
most of
More
my
short
paperwork
jokes.
and a lot of the pictures, they're all packed away, but they're going to be unveiled soon again.
Jim, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you go on motormouthradio.com, there is a link to the 10th year anniversary party that we had there with a bunch of pictures, and
a lot of good shots.
You can see what's going on, what went on that day. I actually got to crush a car, which was cool.
Yes,
which was that was the crowning point of my day.
Yeah, there was people lined up for that. I mean, there's people hanging out just.
All sorts of stuff was going on, and Jimmy comes over and says, "Come here, I need you." I'm like, "All right, what do you need?" He goes, "Get up there." And it was the Crusher. I'm like, "Oh, God, he's throwing me in." I'm like, "What did I do wrong?" He's like, "No, you're going to push the buttons." Like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah,
seriously.
When I do the kids, I see the parents, and I see especially the fathers, and they go, "Oh, I wish that was me."
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Dad, can I get to try it, please? Didn't you buy that for my birthday?
right. See, the funny thing, the better thing would be is like, BYOC, bring your own car.
Yeah, bring something down there. We'll
Well, I often wondered if we would get more salvage if we can convince people to bring their own cars and just allow them to crush them. We don't have to pay, but we would have to call them back after we took everything we wanted off of it.
Exactly.
Ray, do you remember what you crushed?
I have no idea what. I think it might have been a Ford something or other, like a Taurus or something, possibly. You know what? Who
cared? A few of them in there.
I tell the kids, because I always offer it up to kids. I love kids, being able to do something other than go to the mall and play video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell them, I says, when you come back, I give them my card. I don't give their father the card. And I says, you call me. Sure enough, an hour later, he gets home. He's on the phone. He's calling me. I says, you got to talk to your dad. But I tell them, make sure you take pictures, which is easy to do today because everybody's got a camera in their pocket.
Yep.
And they want to know why. And I says, because you're going to go back to school and nobody's going to believe you.
Right.
Nobody's going to believe you. And this is something that they, will be dead and buried, and they'll be telling their grandchildren stories.
It'll be on Instagram and Snapchat for years to come.
So we'll never stop crushing cars, and we'll never stop collecting junk, and we'll never stop talking cars. I thought I would live long enough that maybe we would be able to capture some space junk, just give them all longitude and latitude and just have them drop something.
Well, you got Hale, which comes from the sky.
Maybe he'll be around
People may not know who that is, but that's an inside joke. Jim, thanks for the call, brother. We gotta do a little wrap up here, and we'll catch up with you again on the flip.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey,
thanks,
nice
Jim.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right, so in the last few minutes of the show, let's hit that. First of all, throw out information how people can contact you for more information about this. They could also get us as well if they'd like, but how can they do that?
Well, they can call Freeport Auto Parts and Wrecking and just ask for Jim if you
want to throw the number out there?
Yeah, 868-2524, extension 101.
Press 3 for parts. Jimmy did the menu. It's so cool.
And you know what?
That's right.
Don't call me for car parts because I'll just switch you back to the front.
Yeah, right.
Only cool stuff.
So our important thing today is Saturday, May 20th at Operation Splash, right opposite River House Grill on the Nautical Mile in Freeport.
Right.
There's going to, from 1 to 4, there's going to be an event which is going to be a public debut of everything that's going on with the Living Bay project, which we can all share. And keep in mind that even though this is not in your backyard, the success of this project can be, hopefully the success and failures, not the failures, but the successes can be replicated along all our tributaries here. And even though they're reaping the rewards of this $125 million, what we learned from that, we're going to apply to the rest of the tributaries on Long Island, and maybe we can get this place back together. Definitely bring your kids. They're having a lot of things for the kids, and the parents can learn more. But quite honestly, the kids are over 4 years old. They'll probably end up getting more out of it than the parents because they get it. The kids get it.
Yes, they do.
Do you have any school groups coming down? Did you tap into any of them to see if you could get some interest like that?
I haven't, but we have since the last time we were together, the education program at Splash has gotten so robust. I mean, 50, 60. The other day I just missed 60 kids.
Oh, wow.
From 4th grade to high school, and now we have college interns teaching high school students.
That's great.
So it's very, very robust, and it's good.
Very good. That's cool. So did we have I know you gave out the junkyard number. Was there a number for Splash, a contact for Splash that people could look for?
No, they don't. But if you go to operationsplash.net or .org,
Right.
everything is on there in terms of address. It's 202 Woodcleft Avenue, right in the middle of the Nautical Mile. And it's kind of it's not as much fun as it used to be 3 years ago after Sandy, but it's coming back slowly. But there's a lot going on at the Splash Building, and definitely be a good time. And if we get a day like today, it'd be definitely nice to go down there.
Oh, yeah. And if people haven't been down to Freeport in a while, it kind of reinvented itself. It's still reinventing itself.
Yeah.
In fact, I think one day soon my wife and I are going to go down there for lunch.
Well, our swans are going in the water. We
Cool.
canned them last year because they were rudderless, and it turned out they were hard to maneuver, so they're going in a week or two.
Rudderless swans.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get more family down there. It's not a moneymaker or anything. It's just a little passion to give kids something to do.
Yeah, and they're big, too. They got where do they draft? They got to draft
They draft about
10
3 inches, but above, that was the problem, that they're so big between the wings and the head that the wind catches them and you just skitch along the water.
These things are huge. I want to take one for a ride.
Those are great.
And we got them from Ontario Park up in Canada. That's Canada's little Disneyland. It was a government-owned Disneyland, and I bought them at auction. I looked at it and I go, Nautical Mile. That says Nautical Mile all over these things.
Oh, and there's a whole story behind that we don't have time to get into, which is interesting in itself.
Guess like Jim, you never can get the whole thing in.
Oh, there's always a backstory. There's always something going on.
I guess that means we'll just have to have him back.
Oh,
you guys
absolutely.
are just lucky I don't send Billy here, because otherwise we'd be in the tugboats in history. Your show is too short.
I first met Billy at the event they were raising money to move the Nunley's Carousel to right over here down the block. It was at Baldwin High School.
Yeah.
And it was my car that did. I was driving the Fiat, and he came out and he said, he was parked the car away from me, and he made some comment over his shoulder about the car. I don't remember what it was. And I, instead of letting it go, I challenged him on it. And we got into this conversation. And, of course, Billy's a wealth of knowledge with older foreign cars. The guy's a master.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, my God, what did I say to this guy? Because now I can't get him to stop. So we were there for about another hour and a half.
No, you can't.
And I've been trying to get him on the show since then. I said, Bill, whenever you want, come on in. He goes, I got stuff to talk about. I think he has too much to talk about is the problem.
He has too much to talk about.
Yeah. But I've been trying to do that for a while, and hopefully I'll do that. Because like Daryl, he comes from a past that's rich in that history, and he certainly knows his stuff.
There's a lot of guys like that out there that we need to. We should be hearing their stories while we still got them.
So I'm sorry we didn't talk enough about cars, but there's an open invitation for any of you guys to come down. You want to take a look at the yard and think about maybe having if your club wants to have an event. Ray will probably end up getting the booking number for our agent.
Yeah,
I'm too busy, with the environment right now.
People can contact us.
Okay.
What do I know about making money?
People can get a hold of us at motormouthradio@ncc.edu. Send us an email there, and we can get it on to Jim. For now, we got to go, boys. That was an hour. We're going to wrap it up and let Kim come in with Thunder Road and do her Springsteen stuff. And we're going to go BS in the other room and maybe out in the parking lot.
Sounds like fun.
So for Joe D and Jimmy Ruocco, Jimmy, thank you for being here. Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio. We're done for the day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.